Joining me now from Southern California, environmental activist and founder of Stop the Poop, the effort to end the flow of sewage from Mexico into the United States, Baron Partlow. Baron, this is classic governmental nonsense. And this is an environmental catastrophe that's happening along the Southern California beaches right now. It's been going on for decades. The numbers just this year alone, 600 million gallons in January, another 100 million in September. Decades-long problem. These numbers in 2019, we don't even know what they were in 1979 probably, and in 1983 they probably weren't keeping records quite that well. The bottom line is, over the years, it's not just the water, but this contamination, these pollutants get caught and contained in the sand along the beaches as well.
You have microplastics, Graham, that get trapped in the sand, and these petroleum-based plastics trap all the pesticides, fertilizers, hormones, pharmaceuticals, and mainly heavy metals, and bond to them. They're not going anywhere, they're there. And this is crazy. This is just the clown car Demfest driving California and the rest of the United States off a cliff.
September 30th, the most recent spill, 7 million gallons went in toxic waste, combination of sewage, whatever goes into the ocean, and again contaminates not only the ocean, which has a shelf life of about 72 hours?
Raw sewage components will, once they hit the ocean, will have a 72-hour window of existence. But that's the only parameters the Department of Environmental Health in the County of San Diego tests for on the ocean coastline. They're not testing for all the heavy metals, pesticides. And by the way, DDT is still in use in Baja and comes down the river on a regular basis when the Mexican Riviera is flowing.
Wonderful. So if you're keeping score at home, the totals for 2019 are staggering. And again, we don't know what they were 2-3 decades ago, but there have been 40 occurrences so far in 2019 with a total of more than 2 billion gallons of sewage. Now, your Senator Dianne Feinstein, takes to Twitter and says, oh, she's doing something about this. Where have you heard this before, Baron? She says, I secured a 30% increase in funding for the EPA's cross-border infrastructure projects. We must find solutions on both sides of the border. That's wonderful hyperbole from an elected official who, by the way, has been in Congress for many, many decades now while this catastrophe has been flowing along. Excuse the pun there. But the bottom line is, sure, it needs to be a binational solution, but in the end, Mexico has to be held accountable.
Mexico has to be held totally accountable. In 1993, there's documentation of Vice President Al Gore being presented a pair of boxing gloves because the clown car Demfest declared a knockout and a pollution solution then. It's only gotten worse. We keep pouring American dollars into Mexico. This keeps getting worse. And I'm going to point one more thing out, Graham, if I may, real quick. The former Otay Water District manager is now the incoming Baja governor of California. Baja California governor is the former Otay District water guy, and these guys are making backdoor deals with him like they do best.
And so how can you expect the solution to be at hand when you have that kind of nepotism going on there? There is a rally at the border this weekend, and it's Saturday, 10 o'clock local time. It's not going to be just a bitch session, is it, Baron? This is a search for solutions, and we have some solutions at hand. And there are some infrastructure solutions, but it's going to take a commitment of the U.S. government and putting pressure on the Mexican government to make sure, number one, these changes are made to the infrastructure, and number two, that they are maintained. And this is very, very important. There's got to be some sort of U.S. oversight because there's been many promises over the years by the Mexican government to stop this.
Two things that need to happen: maximum pressure on Mexico and total United States oversight. This has been, you talk about the maintenance of what oversight is. How about the attaining, maintaining, and sustaining of this crisis so long? The river has been used to dump raw sewage and toxic chemicals in since 1920. Now, if you want to talk about the insanity of all this, the insanity is they want to keep using the same insane solutions by pouring American money totally into Mexico and expecting it to happen on that side without total American oversight. It must happen that way, Graham.
And one of the solutions that we'll talk about on Saturday at the rally is the USMCA, which Nancy Pelosi is sitting on right now, this new NAFTA, if you will.
Yep.
There are mechanisms within the USMCA that will hold Mexico accountable in relation to the trade agreement, which is a fascinating way to do it, probably the only way to do it. So it's stopthepoop.us. Stopthepoop.us is the website. And Baron, we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk to the problem, but we will speak to solutions also.
Thanks, Baron.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.